Hey guys, today we're pouring a boathouse garage. Actually, this guy's gonna back in his really big boat and he made a special garage just for it. The cool thing is you're gonna get to see us pour concrete using this conveyor truck. Now Brian is the driver. He has to do this every time he uses the truck, so he'll unfold the conveyor, he'll put the tremie on, and then he'll get that back into where we need it. That conveyor, what's cool about it is it telescopes back and forth like 10 feet. So it makes it a little more convenient pouring with it than the old ones didn't telescope like that. They were just one solid 40-foot piece. So we had to keep moving the truck back and forth. Now, I'd like to thank my sponsors at DeWALT. You can see I'm using my favorite DeWALT self-leveling laser. I had that set up. But even better, we're going to be using the DeWALT Power Screed to screed this garage down. And you're going to get to see how that works, kind of like live in person. I'm going to leave that in real time, and it's just going to make screeding a garage like this super easy. So we'll go through the pour right here. Now we set our grades using the self-leveling laser, and then I went around the grade stick with a pencil when I had my grade set, and I made my marks. We snapped our chalk lines on the wall. The chalk lines are a little bit hard to see, but they're there. And then we used the laser grade stick to set the height of the forms here for the garage doors, and then we tapcon them into the wall. And then we got two trucks coming, so we put 9 yards on the conveyor truck, and I believe we put like 5 yards on the second truck. We wanted to make sure we could get as close to the front edge of this as possible before we had to start dumping out of that second truck, because the second one's just the tailgate. It doesn't have a conveyor on it. Now, so I'm using my receiver with a DeWALT laser level, and I'm checking my heights. And what we have to do, because this thing's like 18 feet wide and the board on the Power Screed is 14 feet, is we got to just shrink this in a little bit first before we can use the Power Screed. And we do it this way. You could use the Power Screed to do this too. We just do it by hand, just the way we've always done things. So I get my level set, make sure the guys know that's perfect, and then they screed it over there just 3 or 4 feet, and then we can grab the Power Screed right here. So this has got the new technology battery. It's super quiet. It really is quiet. It probably weighs about 40 pounds with the 14-foot board on it. It's got a ton of power. We never run this thing at full throttle. Probably the concrete here today is I'd say, I don't know, 5.5, 6 slump. And Luke's actually running it at about half throttle. We could go a little faster if we wanted to, but this is about the speed we go in real time right here. Darren and I rake the concrete. This is how we get our floors really flat, is we take our time. The guy with the Power Screed, we like him just to go at a slow, steady pace. And then Darren and I can keep up behind him raking, making sure that he doesn't get too low and he doesn't get too high. We want Luke to be pulling back just a tiny roll of concrete like you can see behind that board right now. But not too much so it vibrates back underneath. So Darren and I, we keep busy. He gets one side, I get the other side, and then all Luke really needs to do is just make sure he fills in his footprints when he steps backwards. If he doesn't have enough mud right behind the screed itself, he'll kick a little bit in his footprint as he walks backwards. And Luke's just checking, as he's pulling this thing backwards here, he's checking the right side and the left side of the board. And he's making sure that he's scoring on both sides. Like, he's making sure that one side doesn't lift up higher and not leaving a mark, or he's obviously making sure it's not digging in anywhere. That'd be pretty easy to tell, I think. And he just wants to leave a nice flat score mark like you can see there on the left-hand side. That tells him that part of the floor is good and he can just keep going. And it's my job and Darren's job just to keep up, basically. So if we're high, we just want to keep pulling that stuff back so he doesn't have to stop. Looks like we got it a little bit high in there. What we were trying to do is dump that conveyor truck right out, all 9 yards, just dump it out, because the driveway was really thin. And we wanted to get him out of the driveway out onto the road so he could start washing that conveyor down while the second truck was kind of backing his way in and mixing up and getting ready. all while we're just doing this. So when we get done this screed in this first truck here, that second truck's just going to be ready to go. He'll have his chutes on, the mix will be the same as this, and we can just start dumping him out. That's kind of the process there, and that's one of the reasons why we'll just dump the first truck right out if, you know, the access isn't that great. But honestly, you know, 9 yards of concrete at 4 to 5 inches thick, that's not a lot of square footage for us to just dump out at once. This is pretty much what we do normally every single day. Now this concrete is 4,000 psi. It was on the road for about an hour. It's got hot water in it, about 150 degree hot water in it, because it's cold here. It's late fall time. Temperatures are really chilly, and we got to get the concrete to set up so we can get a good finish on it. We put a little bit of accelerator in it. It's got microfiber mesh in it. This is engineered spec. Like, this isn't my spec. So there's no wire, no rebar in here. It's not needed inside a frost wall like this. The microfiber mesh is good enough with a 4,000 psi plus the water reducer. So this guy's never going to have any trouble with his concrete. It's not just going to crack up and break up like everybody thinks. It's going to be perfectly fine. We'll get this power trowel today. We'll get saw cuts in it today. And that's basically what we do every single day on these floors is, you know, we get them poured, we get them power troweled, we get them saw cut, the same every single day. And we don't have trouble with our floors cracking. Now, the main code requires most of these new construction builds over 600 square feet have 2 inches of styrofoam under them. So that's why you see styrofoam under here. It's just a, you know, kind of a heating guide. The main has gone by. So if this guy does want to heat his garage later on down the road, it'll probably be a little bit easier to heat with the styrofoam under the floor. And it's got a vapor barrier underneath the styrofoam also. That's how much, you know, we use the laser quite a bit every day on our pours. I don't really care that much for driving in pins and setting grade pins. I like shooting wet pads with the laser. It's just as fast because that's the way we do it every day. Now by this time, you know, that second truck was out there setting up. You can tell the concrete's a little stiffer. I'd say it's probably between a 4 and a 5 slump right about now. And still no problem for the screed. I bet Luke's still only on about half throttle right here. You know, he could wind that thing up to full throttle and probably double the speed here if he really wanted to, but there's no reason to. We're almost done. Now he's keeping the, what we call, I guess, the edge of the rod towards him. He's keeping that as flat as possible. So he's kind of cutting the surface of the concrete as he's matching the right and the left sides on the pads that we already have floated out. If he lifts that up, if he tapers that rod up a little bit, then concrete's just going to kind of flow under it, and you're going to end up having some humps and dips here and there, and your floor is going to be a little bit wavy. And you'll notice it when you bow float. When we bow float after this, you know, we can tell with the bow float that it's really flat. And it kind of depends on how you hold that board right there. So you can adjust those handles up and down depending on what your comfort level is. You know, if you're a lot taller, you can adjust them up 4, 5, 6 inches if you need to. That way you can still hold the board the same way Luke is doing right now. Now we're going to get down the end. I think we're a little bit low right where I'm stepping in there with my boot. So what Luke will do is he'll just pick up the screed, just get it out of the way so we can swing the chute around, get a little bit more concrete in there. And then, you know, he might even start rinsing off the board, maybe to just get the concrete from drying on that board too much. And then we always rinse off the unit too and wipe it down with a rag to make sure everything's really clean. You always get a little concrete splattered on everything when you use any of these tools in the concrete like this that have vibration. But that's as simple as it is to screed that. And you wait, I'm going to bull float this in a second, and you're going to see, number one, you'll see that the concrete was setting up on us a little bit. But you'll see how flat that is with the bull float when I run that across there. When both ends of the bull float touch and there's no gaps or humps in the middle of the bull float, that's when you know it's really, really flat. See Luke's over there kind of rinsing down. We like getting that thing rinsed down while we got it. While everything's good and fresh. I mean, and the driver always lets us use his hose. I mean, that's kind of part of the deal when you're paying $170, $180 a yard for concrete. You should be able to get a little bit of water with that too. And we always make sure we don't waste it because he's got a lot of washing down to do also. But that's kind of how the boat float works right there with that Power Screed. And then you can see this stuff's setting up enough so we can start tapering down the garage door. Darren's going to start tapering it. Then I'm going to come over and finish the taper so he can get his boots washed up. The truck driver wants to get out of the driveway and up onto the road so he can wash his chutes. But that's kind of it. That's my favorite DeWALT laser right there, that self-leveling rotary laser. That thing's super, super accurate. I would highly recommend getting that. I'll have a link for it down in the description. And then I'll have a link for the Power Screed down in the description if you want to check that out. If you're looking to buy a new one, that's the one I'd recommend you getting right there.